Hello and welcome to Cinemastrophe. I'm Don Perignon, saving you from getting ripped off. Oh boy, it's time to kill our brain cells with some gratuitous violence with today's movie, Death Fight. Wait, what's that L doing there?
Death Flight is a 1977 ABC made-for-TV drama. What? It's a made-for-TV movie.
This is gonna suck.
Okay, big boy. We all in? All right. Yeah, making my money out in this hole, baby. What the?
All bets! Oh! Bets roll! Bets roll! What the fuck did you think? What the hell I was going to do? Every time I stand in front of you, so you don't have disrespect. How far can you take that bullshit? Now it's time to get this shit on. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, bats.
So the setup is, the Penguin has built a new type of airplane that can travel from New York to Paris at a record flight time of 2 hours and 40 minutes, and a raffle was held to see who gets to fly on her maiden voyage free of charge as a publicity stunt. Normally, I would question the legitimacy of such a raffle, but since Officer Pete Malloy is there, it must be on the up and up. There's no way he can bribe his way onto this trip with his salary.
By the way, you should keep Google handy because there's a lot of old people jokes in this episode. That is, unless you were born before the year 1970, in which case you should still keep it handy because your memory's probably shit anyway.
Actually, in this universe, he's an ex-football player who's dead broke, so my earlier statement still stands. Hey look, it's Regis. I wonder how much he got paid for this 30-second cameo. He tells Phillips here, played by George Maharis, who looks like he's pissed off about no longer being able to get his kicks on Route 66, to go do some grunt work. Well, if he wasn't pissed off enough before, he is now.
Arrogant know-it-all gives me a pain. A little harder. But the way he handles his crew, the way he treats them. If he'd learned to act like a human being, I'd have moved him up a long time ago.
Move them up where? Maybe if you didn't film in front of a fucking jet engine, we could hear what they were saying.
Probably wasn't important anyway. Let's see what other desperate soul is trying to save their career. John Delancey?
Oh, I see. This whole thing is Q once again trying to relieve his everlasting boredom. Get a hobby already. Wait, this is his hobby. Get laid already.
Look, Susan Hubley's trying to escape from New York 3 years before that movie even exists. Must be because of all the children she has.
Oh yeah, 2 jokes and 1 reference. Who the man? Who the man? Who the man? Who the man? Break it down now.
Well, you certainly look right together. Good luck. Today's flight and the circus-like atmosphere here at Kennedy.
I'd have that look too if I knew that this guy was boarding the plane. Better hope he's not the pilot. Hey, I didn't know strippers were part of the in-flight entertainment in the 70s. No wonder there were so many members of the Mile High Club back then.
Do you have any idea how many firm orders have been booked?
They didn't tell me that part, but, would you like to know about the interior color options?
No. We'll settle for pictures.
That's photographer lingo for whip out your tits.
Meanwhile, Macaulay from The Sword and the Sorcerer is up to something sinister. You can tell by the sinister music. Corrosive and volatile.
Thanks for telling us that, movie. Now I know not to put my tie next to my fuse box.
He tells this guy to take the barrel and pump what is supposed to be hydraulic fluid, but is actually detergent into the plane's hydraulic systems.
Okay, it's time someone put it into this. These jackass pranks are starting to go too far.
Mickey
Now get up one more round.
Meets with an ex-pilot named Fairbanks, who now advises companies on what airplanes to buy.
Yeah, I have no idea who this actor is. What, you think I know everything?
This guy with his 70s fro
I don't know who this actor is either.
shows up and says that a Dr. Thurman from the World Health Organization.
Did you realize that in World War Z, the new Doctor Who was a doctor at Who? It has nothing to do with this movie. I've just been dying to bring that to people's attention.
Wants to transport a biological agent to the Paris Institute using their plane. At first, Chief Joe Rochek is against this, but then is reminded that this isn't code red and that it would make for good press.
Space is warped and time is bendable.
Private Sulu, don't look so glum. One day you'll be captain of a starship.
The rubber's oozing, but that's about it.
250 million bucks later, what else is new? Baby's wet and hydraulic seals leak.
You know when your plane is leaking, you should really report it.
I always wonder what Mike Brady does for a living to support 6 kids. I just assume he sold drugs. Oh wait, that's this guy. The plane is in flight and we find out that this chick named Ann used to work for and date James Phelps.
Unfortunately, there was this one mission where he faked his death and forgot to inform her about it. Let's just say she wasn't as pleased as she should have been to see him alive.
We also find out that Fairbanks was stripped of his pilot license for endangering the safety of his passengers when he made an unscheduled landing in New Mexico to save a passenger who had a major heart attack.
Well, they busted you out for that? Well, it wasn't exactly optimum weather. It's kind of hairy coming in. Well, you didn't have to report that part, did you? I didn't. My co-pilot did. You know him. He's your captain.
That son of a bitch.
The plane reaches an altitude of 65,000 feet when Sulu notices that the pressure gauge is falling. Phillips goes down to check it to keep up appearances.
Captain, this is Phillips. I think you better get down here now.
What's the problem?
Fucking bubbles!
They call Ben Cartwright to report the problem, and when Phillips tells them they need to land the plane, Cartwright chews him out.
Les, you're a pro. Behave like one. This is not just a promotional event. I hope future rides on that flight. I will not abort it. That is final.
Don't you see? He put his ranch up as collateral for this thing.
Now, you wouldn't be saying that if you only knew that...
I've heard enough. You're there to solve problems, not create them. Get on it. Did you hear? Get on it.
Boy, I haven't seen Admiral Adama this mad since the time Starbucks put a whoopee cushion in his captain's chair. Phillips finally confesses that he put detergent in the pump so the flight would fail as payback for Oswald Cobblepot not promoting him all these years. They try to change course, but it's too late. The controls are locked.
Well, they may go down in a horrible burning crash, but at least their engine will be squeaky clean. And who the hell makes corrosive detergent anyway? I don't think there's anything in the world that's so dirty it needs to be cleaned with hydrochloric acid. The 70s, a time known for making shit with no logical reason to do so, which is why it's the era that brought us disco.
Keep out.
Fairbanks and Cobblepot, noticing that the wing flaps haven't been moving for 5 minutes, go to the cockpit to find out what's going on.
We're as good as dead. Why didn't you turn back? You've killed us all.